Hi there, my name is Lisa Anzaldua. I'm the founder of the Thriving Beyond Cassandra Syndrome Group coaching and therapeutic community experience. And I'm a neurodiverse couples counselor. And I'd like to share with you today, well, first of all, welcome. And I'm just going to go through, this is my first video. I'm going to go through just describing what is needed based on my experience, personal experience, as well as professional experience, working with having served hundreds of women in healing, so to speak, thriving beyond Cassandra syndrome. So with likely what, my experience with the framework, the series of steps, and in fact, they don't necessarily follow this sequence necessarily, but what is required, 8 things that would be necessary in most cases to thrive beyond Cassandra syndrome. And so, and I laugh when I say that because I know that is a coined term to say Cassandra syndrome is very broad. It's an umbrella statement, that suggests the lived experience of somebody who is allistic, so neurotypical. I know that's a generalization. Married to a partner, autism spectrum partner, usually high functioning autism, formerly known as Asperger's, ASD level 1. So the term Cassandra syndrome evolved from one of the likely tendencies of likely occurrences of the lived experience of these women, which is that in expressing the dynamic of the relationship and the challenges to others, it's often not believed to be true. So whether or not that is your experience, you could be experiencing everything else that now falls under that category, such as for example, emotional abandonment, and other things that I'll go into. You may have people who understand in your life. So the term may not refer to you, but it's just an umbrella term. So nevertheless, my doing this now for a couple of years, I'm seeing what is most effective based on the feedback and the transformations that are occurring for folks who are joining my group. So with that said, I'm just starting this series of videos, and I hope this is of benefit to you. If you're coming here and you're, usually where I meet with the women who come to me, where they're at is that usually, not always, is that they've just discovered that their partner is on the spectrum. And now they say, oh, now things make so much sense, but now what? So this may be your experience. Perhaps you've seen a couples counselor who wasn't privy to the neurodiverse aspect of it. And oftentimes that could be of detriment to the dynamic. And if you're there, I'm sorry if that's your experience. It is ultimately absolutely necessary to see if your partner is so willing to see a neurodiverse couples counselor. So before I go on any further, I'm just providing a series of videos that I'm going to start with, the framework for my coaching. So my group, which is to say the series of occurrences, the series of processes and experiences that will help you thrive, will remove mental anguish and bring some peace to your heart and understanding to what you're experiencing. And so this is step 1, which is community. So anchoring in a strong community where you feel a sense of belonging and validation. So this in my groups, I often say this part alone is so transformative that the others is just icing on the cake, so to speak. You do need the others, which is, professional guidance and a framework to work within to create some structure within the community. And a small group of people is ideal. So finding that community where you can speak your truth to people who fully understand, and you can hear their stories and integrate them into your own and bring clarity and insight and shifts in perspective about your experiences. This will allow you to feel less alone, which then leads to emotional psychological safety that then regulates the nervous system. So then you can, with a regulated nervous system. So previously, before this, potentially, You may be in a state of hypervigilance, you know, in survival, because you're trying to make sense of a very important dynamic, which is an attachment figure in your life. And there's a lot of pain and confusion. And so it is fundamental to, you know, I should say, from that state, it's difficult to find answers. It's difficult to find clarity and to heal and to reclaim yourself. So that needs to be addressed first. And so you'll need to find that sense of safety in a space that feels that way. And then learn tools for self-regulation. And when I say this, I don't mean just go through a list of things that you could do, but actually practice them in sessions. So with that said, this is I'm going to walk through all 8 in different videos. And this is step 1 is the community, as I've said, for the purpose of regulating your nervous system and feeling as though you're not alone. Incredibly important. In addition to voicing your experience and feeling that that experience is understood and received. So we're witnessing you, and then you're learning from the group as well. You're not only what is called empathic resonance, you're picking up on the empathy experienced by them. And that's changing the experiences internally and the data, neural networks and things related to the lived experiences that you've had up until this point that have been so challenging within the relationship. Not only that empathic resonance, but also being able to hear their stories. You're adding new data and insight to your own. Okay, so that is step 1. And if you're here, I understand what you're going through, and I understand that all of this has been very confusing, that potentially you have, the dynamic has brought forth aspects of your personality that you are not feeling is your best self. And that's completely natural. You may be experiencing emotions that seem overwhelming and feeling pretty hopeless. But the good news is that there is hope. So it comes from clarity, becoming very real about what this is, what is the potential within this dynamic, what would be required of them and me to make this feel more safe, more comfortable, and healthy and thriving, the relationship. It also can bring you to a state of mind-body, heart-brain coherence, where decisions about the relationship come from a place of within, where there's a lot of clarity with regard to, and this may not be your experience at present, but with regard to staying in the relationship or not staying in the relationship. So it's a returning to your self-care, attention to your well-being. This is phase 1, the community, okay? An intimate community, by the way. So relatively small, 10 to 12 women, ideally. So my invitation for you is that, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos, and that each of these brings some insight to you and help. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.